Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Small business of the day. This person sent it in. If you can feature my friend, she has an eBay shop with vintage books, homeschooling, curriculum, and more. And she gave it to me. And she also said, if you're able to, would you be able to feature my business too? I sell vitamins, personal care, skincare, and more items that were made in the USA. Many of these items will make excellent high-quality practical gifts for those tired of buying everything from China. And hers is healthywithluba.com. Shop is my link. If you're only able to feature one, could you please feature my friend? Well, I'm going to feature both of you. So, I'll put two links. One is for vintage books and homeschooling curriculum, and the other thing is more for personal care items, vitamins, skincare, stuff like that. So, two small businesses that are going to be featured today. So, check them out, please. Show some love to them if you're thinking about purchasing some Christmas gifts. Support a small business. Let's get right into it. This is a temporary 2-month increase for electric. This co-op, and it's Glades Electrical Co-op, said because of the increased cost of doing business, they're going to be a shortfall for the last 2 months of the year. It's going to be, I think, 1.6 million shortfall, so they need to make up for this, and they're going to increase their rates, and they say it's only for 2 months, but it'll be about a $22 monthly increase for a household using 1,000 kilowatts. This person says, just to thank you for a very informative channel and let you know shortages are finally starting to show up in Southern California high desert. Anyway, this morning on my Instacart order, the most notable shortage were in the chicken section. No whole chickens or turkey. Lettuce was $1.99 and plentiful, but no yellow onions, and whites were expensive. Bread items were also missing, and some of the shortages are enough to drive you crazy when you can't go in person to more than one market. I would venture to guess it's almost time to hunker down and start using my 2-year supply of food and start making bread again. Yes, I love homemade bread. I'm going to remind my wife that she hasn't made me some in a week or two. So I think it's time for me to get some homemade bread. I love it. Morning, Dave. I live on the lower west side of the state in Michigan. Just ran to the store to grab a few quick items. Gatorade sports drinks last week were $1.59. Today it was $2.69. Last week a head of lettuce was $2.79. Today it was $4. Regular gas in their area is about $3.84, and diesel is $5.68. Thanks for all your daily updates. And thank you to all of you guys and gals that send stuff in. It's very appreciative. You make it possible. You guys make it possible. I live in the Midwest. My parents, who are in their mid-90s, live on the West Coast. Last night, my dad called an ambulance for my mom who had an extended AFib event. My dad said when they got to the ER, there was people everywhere, very crowded. My mom was placed on a gurney in one of the hallways in the ER for hours. Staff was checking on her periodically, and they did take blood and hooked her to a monitor, but they had no ER rooms available, and it took hours for a doctor to see her. She was finally admitted for observation, thankfully. She also has dementia, so I know that it's upsetting for her to be in a crowded, uncomfortable environment. I'm grateful that my sister is there and could stay with her overnight. Praying peace and protection for her and strength for my sister and my dad, and wisdom and skills for the staff. I know they must be completely overworked and stressed. This person said, I've been working at an Amazon grocery warehouse in the Bronx. Full shelves and lots of orders when I first started. But over the past couple weeks or so, I've noticed the shelves have become more and more empty. And I've noticed the pics we get of orders are getting smaller. I'm guessing shortages and or shipping issues, as well as people are shopping less. Scary times. This is from Australia. This is from MK, our reporter down in Australia. She said she visited a friend north of Sydney. She was talking about many price increases that she has noticed. She said a cooked chicken at the local shop was $12. Now it is $17.50. She's also having difficulty getting the food for her cat. This person said, I decided to go to Walmart Sunday, and it's in Chicago. Of the 6 items I needed to buy, I got only 2. Being disabled and riding an e-bike at 5:30 in the morning, 4 miles to shop, I was so disgusted at all the empty shelves, I almost walked out without buying anything. Also, they had only self-checkouts, no live person to check you out. Goodbye, Walmart. Back to Amazon for me. And for people that are handicapped or can't get out a lot, Amazon does a great service. But you just order it and it comes right to your door. I was educated in the U.S. And I want you to know about the situation in Poland. The official inflation in Poland is 17.9. However, in reality, is much higher. Gasoline is close to the equivalent of $8 US dollars a gallon, up over 50% since a year ago. Grocery shelves are stocked, but there are often supply shortages of flour and sugar. Food inflation is about 50% over year for staples. Medium income in Poland is equivalent to $1,000 to $2,000 US dollars a month. So restaurants are empty, with certain areas only lighted, but they're very dim. So maybe they're trying to save electricity. For work, I often travel and stay in hotels and bring my own instant coffee now, as hotels are frequently out. It is common in Poland and Europe for people to live in a high-rise in large cities. After the fourth floor, water access needs to be pumped. If electricity goes out from the fourth floor up, toilets and faucets will not work. Things will get very unhygienic very quickly. This is what's happening in Ukraine right now. Also, that being said, Poland still is, compared to Western Europe and the U.S., relatively crime-free. Women can jog at night in the park without a second thought. Murder and random shootings are very rare. We got through communism, and we will get through this. How about the milk spoilage? My sister and I live in Virginia, and we have seen milk go bad before use or sell-by dates for several months now. I recently had a half gallon go bad 8 days before expiration. My sister recently purchased a glass container for her milk. As soon as she gets home, she pours the milk into a glass pitcher. Since she started this, her milk has lasted way beyond the expiration date. Maybe it's not the milk, but they have changed the plastic in the containers. So that's interesting. Anyone have any input? Eager to hear if anybody does. The diesel shortage is far more reaching than you think. Every tractor, train, and ship, from the tugs that move barges to container ship, all run on diesel. Just thought I would point that out. Totally understand that. Plus, think of the constructions. I know guys that do construction work, land clearing, septic, driveways. Those guys are going to be in trouble if diesel becomes short. Luckily, those guys have already prepared with large tanks, and they're ready, because without diesel, they cannot make any money. Also, road constructions on the highway, they consume a lot of diesel, fixing roads and building new ones. Prices continue to skyrocket here in New York City area. Far worse than the pandemic shortages and the price gouging. We've experienced actual shortages of things like oranges, potatoes, and affordable brands of butter. All the store butter was still in the fridge area, although it expired in July. I check my dates all the time. Produce have been plentiful, but expensive and very close to the best by dates. Packaged snacks, sodas, and snack cakes are extremely close to their expiration date, often just several days out. This is unusual considering the long shelf life of that stuff. Check the dates, they're saying. Turkeys are hard to come by, and those groceries that have them are charging a lot. And this is, remember, this is the New York City area. My local drugstore pharmacies often close without notice. The homeless shelters near my Queen apartment is composed of a very menacing population. They do hard drugs right out on the streets. They have taken over our local parks and steal a lot of things. It's been so bad in the last 2 years since Mayor de Blasio opened these local shelters that the very convenient Walgreens across my apartment has shut its doors due to the huge amount of theft. My fear is that the vacant lot across my building in my area, and there's a lot of people that have moved into this vacant lot, is going to make my area where I live unbearable. A friend owns a lunchette and said that the case of mixed lettuce that she recently paid $40 is now $95. She also said she saw huge increases as well in getting baking extracts and heavy creams. She uses a restaurant wholesaler, and they warned her of very challenging times ahead. So that was from New York City. We live in north central Oklahoma. I went to Sam's over the weekend. Both dairy sections were closed, stating no dairy items. For the most part, everything else looked pretty good. Just got to notice that my husband's health insurance is going up $120 a month. Total monthly premium will be $1,200, which we pay out of pocket. They're also saying their homeowner's insurance went up $700 from the year before. Now it's $2,500 a year. Going broke just paying insurance. Don't know how people will be able to keep this up. My cousin, who lives right outside of Houston, called tonight and told me that after she got a load of diesel for her gas station, so she works at a gas station, the distributor told her it would be her last for the foreseeable future. This is Sam's Club. They actually sent me a picture of the sign on the rotisserie at Sam's. Basically, it said no rotisserie chickens till at least November 12th. That's a long time away. November 12th, no rotisserie. This person, I live in Denver area, and I have an Xcel Energy for electric and natural gas. Just got my October gas bill, and compared to October of 2021, is a 53% higher per therm used. So 53% increase. That is huge. A friend who is a long-haul trucker called today with a warning. He said that the corporation had contacted every trucker in their fleet and told them there will be an immediate shortage in diesel fuel. It started on the East Coast and it's working its way slowly across the state, they said. There are many filling stations and distributors that have closed on the East Coast. They said get anything you need and get it quickly because very soon the trucks will be not delivering anymore. It's hard for me to verify all these stories, but there is definitely something going on with the diesel, so stock up as best you can. I live in southwest Colorado, 10 miles from the nearest small town. We have intermittent shortages of a lot of different food items. I talked to the store manager at the local Family Dollar store about the shortages. He says that they're having trouble getting trucks to show up, and when the trucks do finally get there, there may be only half of the ordered items. I particularly have a difficult time finding dog food. I've been a prepper for many years, and luckily I am smart enough not to throw away bags of rice or pasta because of weevils. I now use it to feed hungry dogs. This one, pay attention to this one because this was crazy. They actually sent me a picture of the actual letter they got. My wife just received the letter from Blue Cross and Blue Shield about some changes. One of the things is very weird. In the changes, they say injuries or death caused by war is not covered. It says clearly injuries or death caused by war is not covered. They said, I believe something bad is coming. We went to Costco just outside of Salt Lake on Saturday to stock up on 25 pounds of bread flour. The last time I bought it about a year ago was $7. Now it is $9. Since the mill that produces isn't far from us, we called their retail store thinking we could get a better price. We were told that the 25-pound bag of bread flour is now $14. I was shocked and told the lady we just bought some at Costco for $9. She said that Costco had just recently been notified of the price increase and their price will be increasing very soon. I thought if anyone needs to stock up on bread flour or probably any kind of flour, there may be a very short time until the price goes through the roof. A coworker needed to get amoxicillin for her daughter's strep throat. She went to Walgreens and they were out, and all the Walgreens in the area are out, and this is in Iowa. Yesterday, my littlest grandson had an ear infection, an ear problem, and he needed amoxicillin. And it took my daughter-in-law all kinds of times running. The doctor wanted him to start last night, so she drove all around until she found some. But it was very scary. We didn't know if we could find some amoxicillin yesterday. Somewhere in the last few days, I heard a report of lettuce for stores and restaurants going up. And they said it was priced at $60 a case. Today at my local restaurant, I eat there a lot. I've been going there for 15 years. I told the owner that I heard lettuce was going up, and I asked how much it was for them. He said $80, and that was for 24 heads in a case. So I asked how much that it used to be. He said it varied about $25 to $30. They have mostly retired elderly customers. I'm sure prices will have to go up. Yes, those prices will be passed on. This guy went to, I guess, a sub shop in Connecticut, and the sub shop would buy their subs from a local bakery. But the problem was they didn't have the bakery subs there. They actually went to the store and just bought some smaller subs. So it sounds like this bakery is having problems delivering. This is North Florida. Our church needed a roof repaired, and it's a flat roof requiring some specialty material. Normally, they're available, but the roofer called and no one nearby had any material. He had to drive 200 miles one way to get the material he needed and had to pay cash. It was quite expensive, and the roofer said the prices are going up every about 15 days. Yikes. I'm grateful that he could locate what he needed. Also grateful that our little church could afford to fix the roof. On a better note, I went to our discount grocery store to get potatoes, and they were fully stocked, and they had a lot of meats. The grocery store also had some paper bags with food in it for $4.99 that you could buy and leave in a container in the front of the store, and they would be donated to the needy. Was told by a Walmart employee that the people are peeling UPC stickers off the low price items, sticking it to their hand, and scanning the lower price over and over while bagging the higher price in the self-checkout. They were not desperate for food, they were stealing electronics and clothes. This is not surprising given the heating oil price and the cost of firewood. We saw an older guy gathering dead and down wood on the side of the highway and loading in his truck, dragging it down a slope to the roadside. There's no shortage of burnable wood here, but the price has gone up, and it just struck me seeing that this is a sign of the times, and we will probably see more in months to come. This person commented about the Zyrtex, and they said they had switched to the Costco brand. So if you are having trouble buying the expensive Zyrtex, look for the off-brand, the store brands, much cheaper. This is Dollar General in Indian Harbor Beach. I don't know the state. Lots of bare spots in the shelves, and they did attach pictures. And I was at the checkout talking to the clerk and discussing Halloween, and she said a lot of people came in at the last minute trying to get candy to hand out, but the shelves were empty. They said the delivery of the Halloween candy at this location was very small. This is maybe some good news, and it's some bad news. The General Dynamics Ordnance Plant in Lincoln, Nebraska is starting up and hiring workers. They sent out cards in the mail looking for help. So if you need a job, General Dynamics Ordnance Plants in Lincoln, Nebraska. I can confirm eggnog is $7 for half a gallon, and the potato chips are now $6.50 for a small bag, half the size they used to be. Also, the saltine crackers is about half the size it used to be. Pick and Save food store is pretty well stocked, but sky-high prices, shrinkflation, and he also said lazy employees. This is about gas. Was told by a manager, and this is in Mooresville, Indiana, that they only have regular right now, and that's all they can get, so there'd be regular gas. This was from, I think it was Mercedes-Benz, sent to the dealerships about parts, automatic 3%, another 3% increase in parts. My husband is a truck driver, and I'm not going to tell you who, but for a major company here, out of the Greensboro, North Carolina out of Greensboro, North Carolina. The corporate sent out a letter saying that diesel and gas shortage is coming to this state as early as this week. Urge employees and families to keep our tanks topped off. Most gas stations around here have bags on the handles. Thank you for all you do for your community. So if you need fuel, it is time to get it. Make sure you're topped off. So much more, but we are out of time. These are trying times. I understand that. Please, if this news is just the bad doom and gloom getting you down, take a few days off, recharge yourself, go for a walk, go fishing, go do something, spend time with the family. We're going to get through this together. Thanks for watching.